David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today. She's all dressed up, Miss Sarah Fraser.
David, I am West Coast time, baby. I am not anywhere near the Hamptons. I am in Michigan. I'm outside Detroit. Shout out to all our Michiganders who listen. And I'm headed to Northern Michigan tomorrow. But I am East Coast time, baby. We're back to being East Coast time together.
Listen, it's 8:40 in the morning. We have things to discuss. Now, before we even get into it, I have to tell you,
What?
a few weeks ago, you and I on air on the July 7th episode, we said, hey, is there anyone out there that listens to us in their 20s? Shoot me a DM. Sarah, the DMs have exploded.
They've been popping
Really?
off.
No, they said, hi, love you. I'm in my 20s. Hi, love you. I'm in my 20s. Sarah, we better start preparing every week because we are like in with the kids.
I love this. We really speak to Gen Z. You and I do.
I mean,
really.
Did you ever know? I mean, we gave the shout out and like, you know how like when you don't read the DMs, you're not really connected to someone yet, it goes into that other category.
Mm-hmm.
So I check the DMs in that requests or whatever, and it's like 200. And I'm like, I started panicking. I'm like, oh my God, this is my worst nightmare. I have to shut down my Instagram. I've been hacked. Cause like, there's literally like 200. I'm not joking. So then cause it's that like, if you want to increase your followers, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
So
and
stupid.
then I went in there in one after another. Hey, you said no one listens in their 20s. I do. I'm 27. Hey, I'm 23. I listen. So can you believe? So we have to get on our game because the kids are listening and they are like, we're cool, Sarah.
Oh my God. This is like, okay, wow. I've got to really step it up. I can't believe it. I'm like becoming my parents. So the fact that somebody 25 wants to like hear from us. Okay. I'm excited.
Listen, I have to say, I mean, like Brian Carlos, let's give him a shout out. He's been apparently a listener from the beginning, which I know because I know Brian Carlos. So he's 27. Thank you, Brian. Then we have Brian Perez, who's 26, listening to your podcast religiously and watch all the Housewives, even the OC. I've actually responded to this Brian Perez and told him that means you were 10 years old when this started. I mean, do you remember at 10 years old, the OG of the OC, Miss Gunvalson? Then we have like, and listen, we're not going to shout everyone out here, guys. We have like John Novella, Regina Teresa. This one's 24. This one's this. We have like a lot of people. We have Natalie Skiaka. We have all these people that are in their 20s that have responded to my shout out for the DM. And listen, this wasn't just to get DMs. I truly, truly, truly need to apologize to like the 20 somethings because I did not think any of you listened at all. We have, I mean, at least to this lovely podcast. So I am so excited that we are hip and cool and relate to the young audience. Okay. I'm going to have to start learning the music that's popular these days with the kids. That like Doja Cat, is that Doja Cat still popular?
Yes. I love Doja Cat. She's like my favorite. Oh my God. Oh, I love that Tyga song that she and Tyga do together. Oh my God. It's so great. It's like, I don't know, it's all about having sex or something. It's so, Doja is like okay, I'm a Rihanna stan and I'm a Doja Cat stan. Like Doja is amazing.
Well, Sarah, all of the 20-something-year-olds that are listening, Brian Carlos, who's been there from the beginning, and Brian Perez and Natalie Skiaka and everyone else, thank you. Thank you for coming here and being 20-something. And I'm so glad that Sarah and I can be the voice of the youth. These are our future leaders, sweetheart.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're like, okay. I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm going with it. Keep it going.
Please go with it because I feel so good about myself because of this. Now, of course, when everyone listens to this, it's going to be a few weeks later, guys, because that's how it works behind the scenes. But a few weeks ago, we never addressed that Erika told Garcelle's lovely Jax to basically go fuck himself. I mean, she said, get the fuck out of here, but let's just, why are we getting caught up in semantics? So how do you feel about all of this?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I mean, this has set off a firestorm, by the way, in the Bravo universe. Like, I mean, I have just been reading blog after blog after comment after comment after comment. Okay, so this.
I love that you're so prepared and that you do your homework.
Oh, for you, David, I come, A game. Although, it's hit or miss. Sometimes our 20-year-old audience thinks we're prepared, and other times they think we're dead fucking wrong. But anyhow, okay, so here's my whole take on this when I saw this. First of all, I have a child now. I have a 15-month-old. I have been Erika, and no one yet has told my child to fuck off yet. But I can tell you already, even like taking my son to the park, like if a kid like steals his toys, it's a little personal. So I totally get it was way out of line, right? Like you should never tell someone's child ever get the fuck out of here. Now, right before I got married, one of Dan's cousins, she was like 4 years old at the time. I had been drinking all day on a wine bachelorette party, and I was smoking, a Marlboro Light, and this kid was in my face. I took a huge drag. I blew it in her face, and I told her to scram. Her parents were so upset. The next day I had to apologize to this kid. She was so upset. She'd never had cigarette smoke blown in her face, whatever. Anyway, I have been there. Parents take it very seriously. I do think because, we obviously saw the scene with Kyle and Mauricio. How is Mauricio not getting shit? Mauricio was like, yeah, tell me fuck off.
I talked about this on my Patreon a few weeks ago with Kim D. And I'll let you continue because I got a lot to say. I don't understand how Mauricio is not getting any shit either. I don't get it.
How do people never come for Mauricio or PK? Anyway, I do think Erika is going through a lot. Clearly, I have said it a million times on our podcast together. Erika was in love with Tom. They were going to the end. She was going to take care of him. She was in love with him. She was grateful for everything that he had done for her. Erika, I think, has put on a strong facade because she's had to, but she is in a lot of pain. And I think that it's going to be very hard for her to find love again, because I think she did have true love with Tom. So I get that she's like blowing off steam. And I do think, because I saw this comment somewhere else, fast forward to the scene where Garcelle the next day is like, look, you drank too much. You should never tell my children to fuck off. And it was kind of funny because she was like trying to have sex with Garcelle's older son. And then she tells the younger one, get the fuck out of here. And I thought Erika did an awesome apology. There was no stumbling. She was like, you're right. I was out of line. I'm sorry. I never should have done that. I drank way too much. And then Kyle kind of jumped in and was like, hey, she's been through a hard time. And then Garcelle was like, you shouldn't be defending her. I mean, in Kyle's defense, a good friend, like if it were you or me, I mean, a good friend should jump in and say, look, not excusing it, but she has been through a lot. And I think